readers and seekers in the night, hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Let the cards turn around.
Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Maureen. I hope, and good morning, entire freaking universe. I hope everybody had an amazing day yesterday. I went to this event last night. It was a moon ceremony and had a lot of fun. I got to do a little tarot ceremony, and that was interesting. Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, Jenna. So that was a lot of fun. It was actually kind of interesting. We were having a discussion, and one of the things that made it interesting is there was a Native American drummer, who did singing also during the actual fire part. And it was interesting because we got talking afterwards, me and somebody else. And, but most of these ceremonies I go to are Celtic based. And a lot of that just started in the last 50 years. And the Native American, it's like, that is like a 15,000 year lineage. And I just, thinking about that there is a chain and a lineage and a culture that goes back that far that has spiritual ceremonies. And you just sometimes just don't think about that. But I did. So the other thing I was thinking about this morning, because I had taken all my cards, and that's what I was actually thinking about, as I normally do. And downstairs is my cards. And I was going through, and it's like, what cards am I going to select this morning? And I decided to go with the deck that was sitting right in front of me, my Alice Tarot. And what that kind of reminded me of is that, I think it's such a pretty deck. And I have such a thing for the story Alice in Wonderland, so trippy. Just always liked it. I've got like 5 different versions of the movies. That when we have something that we want to keep pretty and pristine, so when we die, it looks pretty and pristine, or is it like a guitar? I can get a beautiful guitar. I've got a beautiful Martin guitar, and do you take that onto the stage and ding it and scratch it up? You get a beautiful tarot deck. Do you use it and bend it and get it creased and everything? And it just reminded me that things are designed to be used. Some things are pretty to set aside, but sometimes taking things that we set aside because it's too precious, sometimes using them will enhance that beauty, I guess. I'm not sure how to quite put it, but as I was thinking about using this Alice Tarot, it's like, that's what it's designed to be used for. So just a couple things I was thinking about, but especially about things that we think are too precious, but are meant to be used. And yeah, my guitars are beat up, scratched up. My guitars have been dropped. They've been played. I've had necks broken on them. So, again, welcome to the rambling MyTarot.org. This is where we are listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Listen to this. That just kind of reminds me to take a breath. Get that breath in there. And that reminds me, where are my feet? Which is one of those things where it's like getting grounded. My feet happen to be flat on the floor, and I'm rolling the ankles because that feels good. Then checking in with my butt, doing that kitty dance, and then the shoulders. And taking that breath with that, and then the neck. Oh, that feels good. So yeah, I read for about I read for about 10 people last night. And that is always so energizing. I was talking to another tarot reader, and everybody's different. But I feel so energized after reading for a person, because my goal is to, like I try and do here in the morning, is to just try and have that positive energy. And I'm still buzzing with that energy from yesterday because it was so good, I guess. But I always feel energized. I feel, like when I see somebody leave, and after that, final card, and we do that discussion, and if they seem to have gained something from it, it's like if I felt drained after every reading, I wouldn't know if I'd be able to continue doing it. Let's see. Our guitars should swap stories and compare scars. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, Jenny, my favorite guitar, and then I'm going to do the spread. My favorite guitar is I had gone into a pawn shop, and I was looking for a guitar to beat up, to throw in the back of my trunk. Didn't care if the glue came undone by the end of summer, all this other stuff. And there was this old beat up guitar in there. And I mean, somebody had played it so much that it actually had wore the wood away around the ring. And if I played the guitar, and I was thinking there was so much rust on the strings that I was going to get tetanus. But I had a feeling about it. I took that guitar, $100, and including a case, and I put new strings on it. Didn't even have to pay to have it set up. And somebody must have died. That's the only reason they probably got rid of this guitar. It's a cedar wood guitar. And again, I have 2 Martins, including a very expensive Martin. And that guitar that I bought for $100 had as much stage time as any other guitar. So again, that's where we use the tools. So anyway, that is can you tell I had a good time last night, all that energy? So now I'm letting the light switch kick in here, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. So this is our chance where the universe holds up a mirror, asks us, what do we see? And we can use the tarot as that reflection. So I am going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one's a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in a multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will be a different conversation from this one. And this one's going to be a different path from this one. So the question is, which stack do we want to choose today? And let's take the center, or what I like to think of as the things that are right at the heart. So I'm going to do our 3 in 1. And flipping each one over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. Today we are starting with the King of Swords. So, what are swords? Swords, which he's got in his hand right there, are our thoughts, our ideas, and sometimes our anxieties, right? Swords are the element of air. Swords are when we need to be able to strategize, when we need to be able to make sure things happen. Kings are the adulting cards, because kings are, when we need to do the bills, when we need to make things, take care of things around the house. So starting with the King of Swords, we have that adulting card. And again, with the King of Swords, it's not how we feel, because whether we feel or not, we still have to get up and go to work or do whatever we need to around the house, because otherwise it's just not going to get done. So the next card is the Chariot. So, and here we are in a train. That's interesting. So with the Chariot is, so notice this king here. This king, and it's a chess piece, but he's kind of nodded off here because this king did not get enough sleep last night. This king was up, some kind of court meetings. Who knows what we were doing? I know that both me and Mina came in last night, and I did not get my 8 hours sleep. So this is me being the king. So what do we have to do when we are dragging, when maybe we don't feel 100%, or maybe we just don't feel like doing something? Well, this is where the Chariot comes in. The Chariot is our self-will. The Chariot says, this I will do, regardless of how I feel. So this is the card that we need sometimes just for that extra boost. So today, if we're feeling any kind of dragging, when the Chariot comes up, it's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to dig up that extra energy, that 110%, or otherwise I'm not going to get things accomplished today. But let's see what the next card is, because that is self-will. And sometimes self-will, not all cards are all good or all bad. But when we look at the next card, guess what happens when our self-will runs riot? Here we have the Jabberwocky, or I should say, the devil. So what is the devil? Well, the devil is the harms that we do to ourselves or others when we're not taking care of ourselves. We might be extra snippy when we are not getting what we want. We might have an opinion to somebody where we're reacting instead of taking time to think about things. So it's just interesting. When I read the tarot again, I try and read it based on the cards. And as we can see here, sometimes we, as the king, we kind of get tired, we burn out. Sometimes I just don't want to be the king, you know? But we do that self-will thing where it's like, all right, I just need, there's no choice. I have to do this. It's not fun. It's not this. It's not that. And so we use our self-will. But when we go hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, sometimes we become the focus of our lives and we forget to think about other people. And we might skip a meal, or we might skip doing something healthy because we are not in a good space. We're trying to do other things. So just think about the things that, adulting, that maybe right now it's like we don't want to do, or we're feeling like, because God knows property taxes are going up, and I really, I'm tired just thinking about it lately, because it's the big thread in the local area. But when those things start getting to us, when we feel like we have to use our self-will to get through, when it takes an extra cup of coffee to get motivated to do what we have to, we're not happy about it, then we have the Nine of Wands. And I mean, this is a reminder of the path that we start down when we allow ourselves to just become that, when we work towards the devil, when we, the Nine of Wands. So wands are our fire, our energy, our creativity, our movement. Nines are so close to 10, but when we are not at 100%, we can when we're not at 100%, we can still accomplish so much, right? We can get our things done. It's just that, are we sunshine and roses, or are we looking at like these guys here? So today, it's about, and let's see, cold clearly between what we are tempted to do and what we know we need to do. Oh my God, those cards are fabulous, aren't they? So today it's just making sure and analyzing, are we feeling like, there's things that we have to do, that we are self-willing our things to do, and then what is our attitude behind it? What is it that we are putting out to the universe with this self-will that says, I need to get this done? Well, with the advice card, this is how we end the day then. But if we can recognize by looking at the mirror that the universe is holding up, we can say, we can laugh and say, do we really want to be like this? Because the advice card is just a reminder, and nothing is set in stone. So today it's about breathing through, recognizing our devils, and our devils are reflected in other people. Our devils are reflected in other people. We see how our actions, how they appear by looking at other people. So today, let's do what we need to do, but let's take care of ourselves also and recognize when we're getting negative. So, yep, this is an amazing tarot deck, and it was gifted to me, and I had been searching for it for years because it's out of print, but she's practically your doppelganger. Well, what can you say, right? I don't know if you ever, no, I'm not going to go. I was going to say something about Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit, partaking, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I hope everybody has an amazing day today. I hope that we realize and recognize when we're letting things get to us, and that we can laugh at ourselves because it's like, I'm just being Tweedledee and Tweedledum on a bad day. Take care, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night.